we go. Welcome to Bon Jovi Discussions. Today I have my friend Penelope from Spain. How are you?
I'm good, Jared. How are you? Thanks for
Good.
having me.
Absolutely. I like your shirt.
Oh,
The,
thank you.
the
This is the
fr
one I usually do, for
yeah.
when I go want to go the extra mile with the sexy stuff.
Yeah.
Because usually, this type of t-shirts are like to here
Oh no.
somewhere.
That's how mine like this is 2001 one night shirt and it just like hugs my neck, but it's a big shirt. I don't know if
Oh,
it's like a 2000s trend or but it's like tighter on the neck, but then baggy and stuff on me, but oh well. Anyway,
yeah,
so you were on my podcast, like 3 years ago, and we talked about These Days album.
we
So,
did.
and I don't think I asked you that, and I'm going to ask you now. How did you become a Bon Jovi fan?
Oh, I love that question.
She became a fan yesterday.
Oh, yeah. It was 28 years ago, actually. I was
Oh,
12.
okay.
Well, going back in time, I remember in 92, the closest person to me beside my husband is my cousin. We're like sisters. And I remember one day, 92, we are in his, whoops,
Uh-oh.
sorry, technical
Getting a
problems.
tour of the room.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Um, so back to the story. We're in her house and she suddenly says, "Oh my God, did John cut his hair?" And I was 8 or 9. Looked at the TV and I was like that sound. But the funny thing is, I remember vividly that memory. I didn't pay much attention. So uh, then we're going on to 95. My brother got the Crossroads CD. And I was doing some exercises at home because I had a problem with my back and I had to do these exercises every day. And I was thinking, like, let me put on some music. I find Crossroads and I knew Bon Jovi, but as we know, all the famous bands,
Yeah.
first song, Living on a Prayer comes on, and I know this song and I love it. Keep the Faith. Oh, I know this song and I love it too.
Bum, 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 bum.
Someday I'll be Saturday night. It was like coming home. I cannot, like, I'm getting goosebumps telling you. It was like, um, I don't know, it was like something switched in my brain. Um, so that was the moment for me. That was the song. That was the moment. I started buying everything that was available, all the CDs, cassettes, videotapes, everything. And I never looked back. And they're one of my greatest blessings. Like being a fan of this band, it's as great as it gets.
Yeah. Well, what's your absolute favorite song? Is it Saturday Night?
Yeah. Well, no, actually, that would be my second or third. My favorite is These Days.
These Days. Okay. And that's
Yeah.
your favorite album. You came on the podcast. We talked about the album, and we just I can't believe that was like 3 years ago already.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, 20.
After 2020, the time has like, I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, 2020 just dragged, and that's when I started the podcast to kind of just connect with other Bon Jovi fans and kind of get this podcast up and running. And then 21, 22, 23, even this year is just flying. But let's get
Yeah.
into our fun topic. So we know that
Sure.
our favorite band in the whole world, Bon Jovi, they're releasing a new album called Forever. Comes out June 7th, in case you didn't know.
Exactly.
And so they have one single out already called Legendary, which has been
Mhm.
out for 2 months now. So, but we've heard three previews of the other new songs that are coming, and we're going to talk about those three songs. So let's start with Living Proof. This,
Wow.
so we got this preview just the other day when John was on it was a special with Michael Strahan, which I love. Great guy. It
Yeah.
was obviously a great episode. It's called Halfway There. It's on
Mhm.
Hulu in America for people that want to see it. And I know select countries, I think it's on Disney. Is it on Disney Plus where you're at?
No, not in Spain. I managed to watch, some parts on YouTube, but no,
Right.
it's not on Disney Plus here.
Yeah. Well, I post, so that's one of the reasons why I posted the clip on Twitter, so people could be able to at least see the new song. So a clip
Really
of
appreciate
Living Proof.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. So a clip of Living Proof was put out there, and I posted it on my Twitter. And I think we got what, maybe 30 seconds of it, but it was enough that says, give me more. I
Yes.
was truly happy uh with it. I guess before I get into it, what was your initial reaction when you first heard it?
I was amazed. Like I was you know, these songs, it usually happens with Bon Jovi, of course, and being fans, but these songs, the first time you hear it, you're like, I this is a great song. Like I don't need to hear it again. I don't need to make it mine by listening more. No, no, no. This is a great song. I just loved it. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. You know what I really liked about it too? Like in the clip, when John is so for people that haven't seen it, in the video, John is at I think a I think at the power station in New York with Michael Strahan, and then there's a few listeners. I think they're part of ABC and whatever, but there's like maybe like 10 people, and so they all sat there listening to this new song, Living Proof. And the entire time John is standing there, he's watching everybody enjoy it. And right at the end of the clip, you just see a really prideful face of John.
Yeah.
He's just standing there proud and so happy that everyone's enjoying it. And I think that was my favorite part of the whole clip that, excuse me, clip there was him just being so happy that everyone was just enjoying new music, you
Yeah,
know?
me too. And the fact that the face he had was when the song said, "You and me." I think it goes, "Me and you, we're living proof."
Yeah.
And
I
he's like, "Yep." That so I love that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the lyrics are this, and bear with me here. And nobody quote me here, but I'm doing my best. I'm tired of talking about somehow we can burn this world until you break down. These tattered jeans got nothing left to prove now. Me and you, we're living proof. I think that's it. I don't want to swear to it, but I'm 99.9% sure those are the those are the lyrics.
You're a native, so I'm not going to correct you. But I think you're right.
Yeah. And you know, when he sings those lyrics, first of all, it's a very catchy chorus, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I'm done, you know, it's very catchy. And then I love the way that John sings me and you, the way that he holds the you in that. I absolutely love it. And you know, and when he sings We're Living Proof, it's like in your face. Um, you what I'm trying to say, I guess, like in that part too, and I think that's what this whole song is. It's in your face and it's proud of who you are, overcoming your legacy or overcoming obstacles together and just being confident, kind of like a have a nice day vibe, like fuck you essentially. And you know, this is who we are. We're living proof that we can do anything together, basically. Whether it's you talking about your legacy as a band or just as a person or whatever. Um,
Exactly. And again, with it happens with a lot of Bon Jovi songs. It's a statement.
yeah,
I mean, they're living proof. They don't need new. Of course, they are using new technology and stuff, but they don't need the new sounds. They don't need the new uh, so-called music we have nowadays. Respect to everyone who listens to the new kind of music. But they're living proof. They're still here.
yeah,
Um, that's amazing. And the fact that he says me and you, I think it also relates to the fans who we're still going to buy CDs. Of course, we have Spotify. We have, of course, and it's great. But we're still here, and we have nothing to prove to the brand new technologies and stuff. We're still here. We still love our rock band
yeah.
from the '80s, and we're living proof of that. And we don't care what anyone thinks about it. We don't have anything to prove anymore. So I just love it. I can't wait to hear the whole song.
And that's another good interpretation. And that's the beautiful thing about music is we interpret it differently, and that's awesome. Don't you think this song kind of sounds like Complicated meets This Is Love, This Is Life?
Absolutely. I read your comment on Twitter and I completely agree. When I first listened to it, I thought it has a vibe kind of like complicated. And then I saw that you mixed it with This Is Love and I was like, that's it.
Yeah,
Like that it has exactly that vibe,
yeah.
that mixture. I yeah.
Tone, yeah, the guitar tone and stuff. And then that's my next thing too was that they brought back the talk box. which
Oh, I love
I'm
that.
so happy for. You know what? Just a little bit of a complaint here, not for the song, but just for people. There's been so many fans that have said, "Please bring the talk box back. Please bring it back." Then they do, and then they get pissed off because, well, it's not Richie on the talk box, or it's Phil on the talk box, or I think it's Phil X on the talk box, which he does a great job at it. And you know what? Fuck what those people say, because the talk box actually sounds really fucking cool on this song. And I can't wait to hear
Yes.
the full thing. I think it's pretty cool. I'm hoping that in the intro there's a talk box intro too. I
Yeah,
hope
me
it's
too.
not just during the solo.
And of course, we're going to think about reaching when we listen to the talk box, but that's a good thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Bon Jovi, the talk box, Richie, they're all connected, but
Yeah.
it's a great add to this song. And I don't know, it's good that it brings back memories, and I think it's a great addition.
Yeah.
I love that.
And granted, Richie is the king of the talk box. No one
Of
can
course.
match Richie on the talk box. I give that. But I am happy that we are seeing a talk box again. And it's because I'm trying to remember the last time that we even saw a talk. I think it was This Is Love, This Is Life. I think that was the
I
last
think
time we
so
saw a
too.
talk box, if I remember
I,
correctly. I'll go to
I,
sleep tonight, then I'll be like, oh no, it was this song. But
yeah,
yeah, I'm hoping that this is gonna be the next single. I,
yeah,
I
me
I
too.
think I think this would do really well on radio. Um, we'll see. I'm hoping it's, because now that we're a month away from the new album, we'll probably get a new single probably the end of the month. So I'm hoping this
Yeah.
one be it. Is
I
there
mean,
anything else? Oh,
it would make sense, having the sneak peek and all, and yeah, I just hoping it would be the next single too, because I think it would be really, really good. It will do great on, as you said, on radio. It could be a massive success. I just love it.
yeah. And it's so fun to sing along to, like I'd love to see it live and just sing my heart out. And, like
Oh,
even in the video, people were singing along to it, so it's catchy.
yeah.
It's great. And I love it. Let's get to the next one. This one's Kiss the Bride, which we know John wrote for his daughter Stephanie, who's getting married. And it's funny because in all the interviews that he's done lately, he's been joking around that the whole world has heard the song except for his daughter Stephanie, who it's for, and she's gotta have heard it by now, you know.
I know it's
Um,
impossible to avoid it.
yeah. So John was on Fresh Air. That's the name of the radio. Um, the other day, and they played a snippet of "Kiss the Bride," and I
Mhm.
posted a clip on my Twitter as well. This I really enjoy. I always love songs that's just David and John. Just the piano, maybe guitar, acoustic guitar, and John singing. I just love, those songs to me are very intimate. They're very inviting. It's more of relax and listen to this. Like obviously, like Live and Prove is more of a sing along, put your hands up in the air and just have fun. And then Kiss the Bride's more relaxed, kick back, enjoy it. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Another thing I thought when I heard, first of all, of course, all the feelings involved, where I can't even imagine.
yeah,
And it's so beautiful when he says my baby. You just get like,
mhm,
it's so emotional.
yeah,
And one thing I thought is that it's like a continuation to Story of Love. It's like the natural, like it follows the story,
yeah,
somehow.
yeah. You mentioned that song too, and I also want to kind of mention I Got the Girl from Crush, because
Yeah.
that was about Stephanie, and she was what, 6 years old then. So, fast forward 24 years later, and now you got a song about her getting married, and it's just, it's really cool to see John write songs that are personal and that what he's going through at the time. And I joke with my wife. I said, if we have a daughter, we're gonna play the song at her wedding. And I think to myself, well, that won't be for another 25, 30 years,
My
you
God,
know.
can you
So
imagine?
this song will age quite a bit.
Well,
Um,
but I remember like it was yesterday when I Got the Girl was out. So
yeah.
time flies by. So
Don't
yeah,
close your eyes.
exactly. You got it.
I had to do it.
I
Um,
know.
and this song also reminds, like the way that it sounds, kind of like Blind Love in a way,
Mhm.
from the Burning Bridges album. Um,
One of my favorites.
yeah, and you mentioned the way that he sings "Baby." I also love the way that he sings "You May Kiss the Bride."
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's so raw. It's so I love that John is putting. He's always done it in a way, but I love that he's putting his feelings in. Not that he's sharing more of his personal life. That's another thing, but that he's being personal. That he's sharing with us that amazing moment where your daughter gets married, and
yeah,
I don't know. It's just so emotional. I hope he gets to sing it at her wedding, and I hope
yeah,
they really enjoyed that moment. I'm really happy for Stephanie
yeah,
to have that moment. Yeah.
yeah. It's fun. I'm just kind of laughing here because there was a lot of interviewers have been asking him if he's going to sing it at the wedding and everything.
Yeah.
But when you mentioned that, the reason I started to laugh was because you probably saw it too. I think John was on Jimmy Kimmel, or he was doing an LA appearance,
Hmm.
and he was leaving. And as he was leaving to go to the car, there was autograph hounds,
Oh yeah.
and I want to get his stuff signed. And then someone was being stupid and asked, "You're going to be singing at the kid's wedding?" And they kept asking it over and over and over. And John was like, "Why are you going?"
Yeah. I love that
I
moment.
love
Yeah, but
that. Oh my
especially,
gosh.
I mean, the question is it's logical to think about it, but it was funny because the other day I was telling my husband about this song and what it was about, and he was like, I bet you would love to see that clip. And I was like, no, it's weird, but I don't
Yeah.
because it's a really, really personal and intimate moment. I just love to know that he sang it and they enjoyed it and it was
Yeah.
a gift for her daughter.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I guess if you're not a fan, you don't get it because my husband was like, what? You don't want to see that clip? And I'm like, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
There's a thing
Yeah.
called boundaries.
Exactly.
And I like to respect those boundaries.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
I know there's fans out there that like want to know what they're getting married. Like, why would you want to show up to his kid's wedding? Like, that is insanely creepy and weird. And boundaries,
Exactly.
people, boundaries.
Like, don't do that. We
Yeah.
get them we get a lot of their time. They give us a lot already. Leave their private space and their private things alone. Like, oof, I get it when maybe you're 13, 14, and you don't know those boundaries and you maybe wait for them at the hotel or
Yeah.
I get it, but again, you're not going to do anything bad. But we're older now. We know better. So
Just
let's
over.
just leave. Yeah, let's just leave them alone and enjoy their lives.
Exactly. Let's get into the next one. This is the last
Sure.
one. Hollow Man. So I get to brag a little bit here, pat myself on the back and boost myself a little bit. So my wife and I we did the runaway trip in 2021 in Miami. And John decided to do one of the very first songs that he was starting to write for this new album, which we're getting in June 7th, just in case nobody knew. Anyway, so John gave us a clip of Hollow Man. He said he just started to write it, and this he was like having kind of, if I remember correctly, he was kind of having like a not a writer's block, but a writer's block. What do you write about? What should I write about?
Mhm.
And so he played a clip, just him and the acoustic guitar, and I have it on my YouTube channel if anybody wants to see it. And it was great. I remember the applause right at the end was just, so loud. Everybody was so happy to see it. And the song is, and John was just on a podcast called School of Greatness, I think, which was a
Mhm.
fantastic interview. And
Yeah, I
John
loved
talks
it.
about this song on the podcast, and he pretty much says that it's about being an empty vessel, and it's about questioning what's next, Lord. What should I do next? Um, and the song also premiered on a show called The Tracker a few weeks ago. I don't know
Yeah,
if you.
we don't get this with that show here, but I
Yeah,
saw the little clip. I think it was no, it wasn't you who posted it. Well, it was a clip on
yeah,
YouTube where they managed to took the rest of the sound out, and it was a really good quality. It was just like 20, 30 seconds.
yeah,
Well, no, it was almost like a minute, and I
yeah,
loved it. You can really hear it really good, but
yeah,
it definitely has potential. I love to know more about the background of that song.
Oh yeah, me too. And I think it's one of those songs that if John does tour, I guarantee that that'll be a song that we get to see. I think it would be a staple in the set list. And I just want to acknowledge some of the lyrics here because I think it's really good poetry. What do you sing when the song has been sung? Who do you fight when the war is won? What do you write when your book is done? What do you sing when the song's been sung? Here I am, the hollow man, telling stories about the promise of the promised land. I feel like a cheap bouquet of flowers in a one night stand. With my heart in my hand, I am a hollow man. You know, I sense a lot of vulnerability in those
Yeah,
lyrics. And those make the best songs, you know, when you're open, honest, vulnerable, and you're showing your emotion. That translates in the song to the audience, that you know, us the fans. I just think that, you know, it's such great songwriting, you know, and you kind of look at that songwriting and think you have a guy here 40 years later still writing incredible, heartfelt songs that sound so good still. You know, it's incredible.
it's amazing. I thought it has a vibe, kind of reminding me to Not Running Anymore, but more because of the sound.
I can
But the
see that. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but the lyrics, all that vulnerability, it reminded me, not because they are like, but the tone is more or less like a teardrop to the sea. For me, that's one of the most honest and raw and vulnerable songs John has ever written.
Yeah.
He even says in some ways how he regrets some of the things, not regret, but maybe here's what I had to lose in order to have what I have. Of course, these are
Yeah.
not the lyrics, but in some way, putting all that vulnerability out there, being that honest with him and with us,
Yeah.
it resonated with a teardrop to the sea. And I love to see how open he is in that song. I love that he trusts us to share that feelings because they
Yeah.
are really deep, and I can't wait to hear the whole song again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait either. Was there anything? Oh, and I wanted to add one more thing. I also think it's a great album closer too. I always love when songs are very easy listen, like the very last song. For example, you get these days you get Diamond Ring.
Mhm.
Um you on Balance you get Open All Night. I'm thinking here, you know, The Circle you get Learn to Love. So I love when an album ends with something easy listening. And I think Hollow Man is a great way. And pretty much like what John has said in the interview, what's next, Lord? Where do we go from here? And I think that's a great way to end forever. And then what's the next chapter in the band, you know?
Absolutely. It leaves it open. It
Mm.
leaves the question there, more or less like in the documentary. We don't know what's gonna happen, but the legacy is there. It's
Yep.
already there. Uh, and it's protected and it's going to be there no matter what. But yeah, I agree with you. Those songs that maybe you're on a high, for example, as what you were saying with these days, you're on a high and all of a sudden comes Diamond. Here in Spain, actually, these days ends with Bitter Wine, which is another great
Oh yeah.
song to have that, that mellow state of what a record I just
Yeah.
listened to.
Yep.
So yeah, I love that that's the song we're ending the album with.
Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to say? Was there any kind of, did you have any more excitement you wanted to unleash before we end?
I
Or you
think we
said it all.
covered I think we covered it all. I just wanted to say that for it's just intuition, but I can't wait to hear Waves. And I can't tell you the reason because it's just intuition. But as soon as I read Waves, I was like, I'm curious about that. So
Me
I'll
too.
talk about it when the album is out.
Oh yeah. I think the one that I'm really looking forward to, and even before the documentary, one song that I was like really looking forward to hearing, just because the title is "I Want to Write You a Song,"
Oh yeah, too. I
and
love
then so in
that
the
too.
documentary you see John in the recording studio or at a house more or whatever it is, and he's trying to sing, he's trying to find that note, and he's singing "I Want to Write You a Song" over and over and over. That made me want to listen to it even more. I think that's like obviously I'm one of those fans that will listen to the album from start to finish. but I have a feeling like that song and I we're gonna connect. You know, and maybe not, maybe it'll be a completely different song that I'll love more. But right now, I think that's like the one song that I would pick to listen to if I had the chance.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. And we'll see soon enough.
Exactly. Well, Penelope, don't hang up on me. Let me end the recording. But thank
Sure.
you for taking the time because it's like midnight your time. So thank you for
It's
taking the
okay.
time to come on and share the excitement about the new songs. I can't believe that we're almost a month away from the new album. I love when we have a new album coming. It's exciting. We haven't had a new album in 4 years, so
Yeah,
I'm excited. I can't wait. We're almost there. So
we're almost there. Thank you for
yeah,
having me,
we're
Julian.
halfway.
It's always a pleasure and anytime.
Yeah. All right. Stay on, Penelope. Thank you.